Ready to go! Yes, that's a bet!
Alrighty, ladies and gents, welcome to another episode of The Breakdown. In today's episode, we're going to be taking a look at the 2020 vendetta that took place as a qualifier for the top 8 between Alex Kurdecha of Poland and Krasimir Kostadinov of Bulgaria. Now, the reason we're looking at this breakdown today is because Alex Kurdecha has been given a second chance at getting in to this season's top 8. He's going to be facing, on the 5th September, none other than Italy's Ermes Gasparini, who is in pretty much devastating form. The way he looks right now is truly amazing, coming off the back of some pretty impressive showings against Matt Mask in recent times. But what we're going to do is we're going to have a look at this match against Krasimir Kostadinov, which was Alex Kurdecha's most recent super match. And we're going to see if we can't get an idea of the tools, the weapons, and the form that he's going to be bringing to his match against Ermes Gasparini. Alright, it's an epic match, this one. If you haven't seen it before, buckle up because it is truly spectacular. Without any further ado, let's have a look at it. Alex Kurdecha, Krasimir Kostadinov. Alright, you'll see on the left of screen here, Alex Kurdecha, the big man, huge elbow foul off the back, but it's called on Krasimir Kostadinov. But look at this, mate. I got to show you this one in a slow motion replay. You'll see the hook hit from Krasi is caught, dragged way off the back. Elbow goes literally off the table, and they've called the elbow pop off the front, I think, on Krasi. He's got a bit of a giggle about it. But anyway, we're restarting round one here. You can see the high grip from Alex Kurdecha, compromising the wrist of Krasimir Kostadinov. That's Alex Kurdecha's game. The top roll, the high arm. Alex Kurdecha is someone who stands at like 6'7" tall. He's a big human. But you can see right here, Krasimir Kostadinov's defensive hook position is getting the stop. But round one there, you'll see the slow motion replay. Even though Alex Kurdecha's somewhat open, his hips are away from the table, he has enough static back pressure and side pressure to get through. 1-0, Alex Kurdecha. Round two, there it is. The wrist goes back again. Into the straps is where Krasimir Kostadinov needs this to be. That high grip from Alex Kurdecha, very difficult to hold on to out of straps. You can see once again, Alex Kurdecha getting control of the hand and wrist and the side pressure and defensive hook from Krasimir Kostadinov. The wrist has now gone back to transition to the press. Very impressive. That will be a feature for Alex Kurdecha in his future super match as well. Taking control, the hand and wrist, followed by that beautiful transition there. The hip goes against the table, the foot goes up, and the press comes through. 2-0 Alex Kurdecha. Round three, here we go, we're away again. The top roll is set, but this time Krasimir Kostadinov getting more of a purchase on that defensive hook of his. You can see Kurdecha trying with the side pressure, can't quite get through. Alex Kurdecha surging, Krasimir Kostadinov redlining in his defensive position there. Once again, Kurdecha looking to try to get to that press, but the side pressure of Krasimir Kostadinov is sufficient to deny that access. The fatigue is starting to set in Alex Kurdecha. Here comes Krasimir Kostadinov starting to return his own offensive drives, and we've got an elbow foul on Alex. There we go, round three still going here. Krasimir Kostadinov getting onto the aggressive side of it earlier this time, starting with the surges. This time, Alex Kurdecha, you can see him statically trying to just position. He's trying to absorb and fatigue Krasimir Kostadinov, who is repeatedly going on the attack with that flop wrist drive. Another elbow foul, Alex Kurdecha. There's the round, 2-1. You can see Krasimir Kostadinov is fired up right now. He's back in the match, 2-1. Here we go. Again, look for the high setup. Alex Kurdecha taking the hand control quite dominantly there. You can see him making his forearm somewhat vertical. He's trying to be patient on this round as opposed to going hard too early. Going hard too early cost him the last round. He started to fatigue, so he's being more patient. That patience you can see by making the forearm vertical. He's trying to get into that press, but every time he's doing it, Krasimir Kostadinov, side pressure to get him out of his shoulder. You can see now Krasimir's repeated side pressure surges are starting to get through, and Alex Kurdecha's arm is fatiguing and opening up, lowering down the body, but there it is. He gets into the press and gets a 3-1 now, Alex Kurdecha. Krasimir Kostadinov, same shape as we've seen it, but this now is a war of attrition when it comes to lactic acid. Alex Kurdecha searching desperately, but elbow fouling whilst trying to get into that press position. Side pressure from Krasimir Kostadinov, very impressive. The wrist once again goes back on Krasimir Kostadinov. If there's anything that Alex has as an ace, it's that back pressure pronation start of his. His ability to finish is not quite as good as it is to get started, but here he is once again trying to get that shoulder behind. The side pressure repeated attacks or defensive counterattacks from Krasimir Kostadinov are relentless. It scores 3-1, but we've got another elbow foul. Alex Kurdecha is spitting chips. 3-2 now. Krasimir Kostadinov living on the edge of his seat here, just surviving these matches so far in these rounds. Alex Kurdecha, same shape, trying to be patient now. Its score is 3-2. He's got an opportunity to win it here. He's looking for an extra set of tools. He's using his pec now and his shoulder to try to drive. Rather than transition to fully behind the body, he's trying to use his pec to get through. But another elbow foul on Alex Kurdecha. Krasimir Kostadinov smelling blood in the water. The fatigue in Alex Kurdecha's arm must be starting to become apparent. Krasimir Kostadinov now thinks he can outlast Alex Kurdecha. Alex Kurdecha climbing, pronating, again thinking, how am I going to get behind my shoulder? He's using the defensive space this time. He's considering the King's move option. He's considering the open arm top roll. We've got a Krasimir Kostadinov elbow. One elbow foul apiece here on this one. The King's move there from Alex Kurdecha. He's hoping to preserve some fuel. He's looking for the comeback, but Krasimir Kostadinov repeated again attacks. There's the full-blown King's move. Krasimir Kostadinov coming forward with the press. Another elbow foul on Alex Kurdecha. There's the round. We're going to the 7th round here. We are at 3-3. You can see Alex Kurdecha starting with the open arm. He's gone voluntarily to the King's move. He's still taking the risk, but Krasimir Kostadinov with the big drive and the surge, taking the win. Let's have a look at that round one more time because it's good. It's a great match. Krasimir Kostadinov, watch the way he actually fools Alex Kurdecha here. After he goes on some surges, he actually feigns some fatigue and actually gives up some space, allowing Kurdecha to feel like he's got some positive victory. And then the big surge came from Krasimir Kostadinov to take, seize that in control of that open arm. Anyway, wow, what a vendetta that was as part of the PAL. Of course, Krasimir Kostadinov qualified for the top 8 as a result of that, which did kick Alex Kurdecha out of the top 8 for the season. However, with Dmitry Silayev now no longer available for this season, Igor Mazarenko, of course, needed one more, so we've got Alex Kurdecha up against Ermes Gasparini. Now, let's talk about that match briefly, because I know we're still on a high from watching Krasimir Kostadinov make an all-time comeback there. But Alex Kurdecha is a big man. He's a tall man. He's got thick wrists, huge hands. Standing next to him when I met him in Poland, he is towering over me. Thick chest, broad shoulders, really big guy. Ermes Gasparini, a much more compact arm wrestler, weighing in around that 120 kilos, where Alex Kurdecha up around that 160 kilos. Okay, the hand and wrist of Ermes Gasparini is going to be key. If the hand and wrist can contain the pronation back pressure of Alex Kurdecha, then Alex Kurdecha is in big trouble. But as you saw against Krasimir Kostadinov, who has one of the best wrist flexions on the planet among arm wrestlers, he was unable to contain for all 6 rounds the pronation and back pressure of Alex Kurdecha. So I expect that is going to be where the battle is going to be fought. The big back pressure, the big pronation from Alex Kurdecha, that levering off the elbow as he drops his body, likes to have his hips away from the table. Will that crack the fingers of Ermes Gasparini? Who knows? We're going to find out 5th of September in the Ukraine as one of the undercard matches to Dave Chafee Levan Saganishvili. It's going to be good. Let me know what you think about both this match and the one coming up against Ermes Gasparini in the comments below. Be sure to leave a like, hit the share button for me, and subscribe. And yeah, we'll see you again next time.
Yes, that's a bet!